it's Jill from Glimmerbug Art, and today I am going to try this watercolor paint set that I ordered off of Amazon because the paint set that I usually use for my watercolor classes is not available. It's not in stock for whatever the reason, probably because they're pretty good for a lower cost watercolor set. So I'm going to try these out because I need to be able to give my students something to purchase that I believe in. And I thought, well, these looked like they'd be pretty decent. The price was right, and we'll see. So this is the Artistro brand, 48 colors in this box. It supposedly comes with a pen, brush, a water brush, a sponge, and some watercolor paper. So let's take a look and see. The box is kind of pretty with all the little swirlies on it. Oh yeah, it does have something else in here. Let's see. Watercolor paper, the Artistro brand. It's 140 pound, and it's got 10 sheets in it, so that's kind of nice, including that in there. This has a nice little clip to it. Pretty little case. Let's see. Oh, so it's got the water brush, typical water brush. It's got its own little brush with the Artistro logo on it. The black waterproof pen, which looks like you have to get that started and going. So that's kind of a nice addition. A couple little wells to put our paint mixing in, and a sponge. So not bad, built right into the top. What is this? Oh, this is their different materials that they offer. This is like a, what is this? Come on, is it a sticker? Must be a sticker or something. I'm creative. What's your superpower? Cute. All right, we'll put that aside. Okay, so now we've got a little sheet, watercolor sheet for our swatches. So it looks like they've got each color broken down into 3 little spots. So each block has some hatch marks, and I think probably what they're thinking you do is do light, medium, dark. Probably a lot of water, medium water, and not much water. So that's cool. We'll work on this and see what we have for colors. Oh, this is nice. So this is the color palette already. So they've already kind of done it for you, and it's got a nice, it's like on a vellum, and it shows the different colors that are in the kit. And here are the colors. So they're just little half pans. So we'll see how they are. They're kind of, yep, they're nice in there. All right, so let's see. Where is my water spritzer? So I'm going to start by spritzing down my palette. Getting it nice and wet so that the water activates the paint in there. And then let's take these, move these aside, and we'll start with our, I can't pick this up. Let's see, that's going to be the best way to do it. I'll leave it like that so you can see. And then I've actually got my own brush out, so I'm just going to use my own brush. Leave that brush aside for now. Traveling if you're going to go do some plein air painting. All right, so here's some white. So here's some with a lot of water. Here's some with a little bit, it's hard to see the white. I never use the white anyway, so what does it matter, right? All right, so we've got lemon yellow. So I think I'm actually going to go dark to light. So here's dark. That's nice. Dip it in, get a little more water in there. And it kind of doesn't really even matter if you do it the way they have the hatch marks. It's just to kind of give you an idea of what the colors are. And it was really nice that they included this little swatch, vellum swatch thing. All right, so that was lemon yellow. Let's see, deep yellow. So that's kind of like an orangey yellow. I like that color. So far they're pretty nice to work with. I was worried that they would be chalky. A lot of watercolors that are cheap can be chalky and not very transparent, which can be troublesome. So this is kind of nice that these are not very chalky. I'm pleasantly surprised so far. Okay, so that was flesh. That's kind of orange, so I guess if you have a pumpkin head, that's a flesh. And flesh isn't really flesh colored. It's kind of whatever color your flesh is. I'm lighter, there's darker, so that's kind of a weird name for that. I would have called that like peach or something, because it looks more like a peach than it does flesh. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. It's, you know, what they named it. All right, so now I'm on gamboge. Gamboge. So that's pretty orange. It's a nice orange. It's kind of a yellowy orange. This is orange. It's pretty red. I don't know, call this like, I don't even know, blood orange or something. All right, brilliant red. Brilliant as in bright red, not smart red. It's pretty. It'd be kind of a nice, like, appley red. All right, scarlet. That one oozed a little bit, but that's okay. Let's see, vermilion. It's funny how in different palettes the colors can be so different, have the same name. Because I always thought vermilion was more kind of like that gamboge color, or the orange color that they have in here. So the vermilion in this kit is a darker red. Permanent red. It's a dark red, like a maroony almost. All right. Okay, so this one says orange red. Is that right? Looking at their little cheat sheet thing here, and this says that this is orange red. Yeah, no. That's not exactly orange. It's more of like a rust kind of a color. This is magenta. So this should be like a purplish red. Yeah, it's pretty. It's not as bright as what I usually associate magenta with, but all right, so far the color names are throwing me a little bit because I don't do flesh. I say that's a little more of a peach. And then this is definitely not orange red. That is, I don't even know what I would call that, but it's not, doesn't appear to have any orange in it. So I'm not crazy on the names of the different colors, but that's just something I need to maybe get past. All right, so now next is Lake Blue. So this is like a turquoise color. Okay, Cobalt. This looks a little bit lighter than what I'm used to for Cobalt, but I'm just sticking my, I'm putting my brush in the water, adding a little bit of water each time I go back to do the lightest version. This little thing keeps falling. I'm using this as my cheat sheet. There we go. All right, turquoise. All right, so this to me looks like this would be cobalt blue. So it's a little darker than what I would call for turquoise. All right, brilliant blue. Okay, that's pretty nice blue. All right, ultramarine. That didn't get very much pigment in it. All right, phthalo blue. So that is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of hard to tell where I left off. All right, so this is phthalo blue. It's pretty dark, but that is what I am used to for phthalo blue, so that's pretty good. All right, then this one is deep blue. Okay, so this has got more like a violet, but see the next one they say is violet, so this looks like it's more of a blue violet. All right, this is violet. Okay, that's a nice violet color. All right, that one's a good one. What's this one? Mauve. All right, so this looks more lilac to me, because mauve to me is more of a dusty pink. This has more of a purpley tone. Cerise. Now see, this to me is magenta. Okay, purple. That's a nice purple. All right, deep purple. Oops, wrong one. Deep purple. Well, that's pretty deep. All right, now let's go over here, light green. That to me is more of a seafoam kind of a green. So I would say if it was light green, it would be like almost like a lemon green was what I associate light green. That's more of a like a seafoamy. This one is leaf green. So far as the I'm noticing as I'm going along, as I spritzed these and got them to kind of activate, they're fairly creamy when they're wet. So a lot goes a long way. This is olive green. It's a nice olive green. But they're not chalky, which is what I was really worried about. All right, peak green. So it looks like, as I'm looking, it's not, it's kind of like a hooker's green. It's a nice green. All right, Viridian. This is what they're calling Viridian. Yeah, that's a pretty Viridian. It's like a bluish green. It's a pretty color. All right, brilliant green. It's kind of similar. All right. What is this one? This is grass green. Yikes, that doesn't look very grassy to me. It's almost like a moss kind of a green. All right, this is called blackish green. All right, burnt sienna. That's pretty burnt sienna-ish. Okay, look at that. Here's burnt umber. This is raw umber. All right, it's pretty umbery. Van Dyke brown. Should be a nice deep brown. Yep. All right. Now they got some fluorescence in here, which I've never actually worked with fluorescence, but that is indeed fluorescent. Fluorescent yellow. Might be nice to add a couple little spots of. This is fluorescent green. That is definitely fluorescent green. This says fluorescent blue. It's kind of interesting working with fluorescents. I don't have any of those, so. All right. No fluorescent pink, so we got fluorescent orange. That's definitely lifeguard orange. All right, then there's metallics. So this is metallic gold. All right, this is metallic bronze. So yeah, this is definitely a creamier set than I'm used to, which is fine, as long as it's not chalky. But yeah, it's so far, you know, it's got some neat colors in it. metallic copper. This one's silver, metallic silver. All right, gray. Oops, added too much water. All right, brown ochre. All right, almost done. Payne's gray. And then deep black. Oh, that's a deep black. All right, so let's take a little look-see. Put my stuff over there. All right, so I think I like it. I'm happy with the colors. I think the only thing that I'm not crazy about, like I said before, is just the names, because those kind of throw me a little bit, whereas like that's more of a peach to me. I think the brilliant green is close to the viridian green, so I wouldn't necessarily think of that as brilliant green. I would think of that as more of like an emerald green. What other one kind of messed me up a little bit? I think where was it? The light green here, that it's more of a seafoamy kind of a green. I would say light green is more like a yellowy version of a leaf green. But this is just what I have in my head for colors. So I think moving forward, when I use this kit and when I teach using this kit, I'm going to not go with their names of the colors. I mean, I'll have to explain it too if a student shows up with these paints, but I like the way they feel. I like the way they go on. And like I was saying, doing the swatches, they're very creamy once they're wet, so they get a lot of pigment very quickly. So you're going to have to watch your water and have enough water, because they can almost come across as like an opaque watercolor kind of a thing. And which, if that's the look you're going for, totally fine. But you're going to have to make sure you watch your water and have enough water to get them to be the consistency and the gradient that you are looking for, because they can kind of look a little bit like gouache because they're fairly thick and they're not transparent enough. So that being said, for the price, I think I'm sold, because I like the array of colors in here. I like that there's like these pinks and purples, and because I tend to use brighter colors in my work, I kind of like having these fluorescent colors to choose from, because that's something I've never worked with. And it's also nice having these metallics, because I tend to splash and splatter on my paintings when I'm working to give it a little extra va-va-voom. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, so I think if you are in the market for trying out watercolors and looking for a nice set that has all these little extras like the water brush and the black pen in them, I think it's a good set to start off with. I think it's not going to break the bank. I think you're going to get the results that you want from it, even if you're not a beginner, but it's a nice set to have on hand. So I'm happy that I bought it, and I will recommend it to students to use, because it's a nice kind of all-in-one little package. So that's it for me. If you are in the market for a nice little set of not bank-breaking watercolors, this would be a great one. It's Artistro brand, and I'll have it linked on my website and on my classes, so that in case you want to sign up for an online class or an in-studio class, I'll have these available that I'll be working on in those classes. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Visit me on glimmerbug.com and check out my classes, and like, share, subscribe. That would be great. And check me out on social media, where I post a lot of different tips, tricks, tutorials, and little show and shares. Have a great rest of your day.
I'm driving down an empty freeway.